Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to this video. I'm going to be going through Rune Dragons real quick and a quick guide. If I did miss out anything, be sure to put it down in the comments and I'll add an annotation in the guide or maybe put it in the description because I didn't have a lot of time to get used to these guys. As you know, I haven't been playing RuneScape recently. My first video back. Let's hope it goes well. Be sure to comment, rate and subscribe as usual and enjoy the video. Peace out. 0 to 100 real quick. Let's go through some requirements. To kill these guys, you will need to have completed both Ritual of the Majora and Fate of the Gods quest, and you need to complete Ritual of the Majora because you need Dragonbane ammunition in order to get past these guys' first phase. I'm going to go through it later, but there is 3 phases of these guys that you need, and for the first phase you definitely need Dragonbane ammo. That can be bolts or arrows, so you can use a crossbow or a bow, and you can switch it later on, but I'm going to go through all the tactics. These are the 3 requirements. If you don't have these, you cannot kill these guys, so make sure you get these before you want to go ahead and camp some Rune Dragons. Next up, we have the things that I recommend you guys have. I definitely recommend 90 Slayer because if you get these guys for a task, you have a chance of getting the rare drop, which is worth around 10 mil each. They are the boot attachments for the Glaven, Steadfast and Ragefire boots to make them a bit better. So yeah, definitely recommend 90 Slayer to get these tasks for the first couple of weeks, I believe. Right now they are more common for the early bird bonus. And also I'd recommend having Overloads or Extremes, and definitely if you have these, obviously bring Super Anti-Fires, a 6-stage circuit to get there really quickly, and Soul Split and Anguish at least to help make the kills a lot smoother, help make you last quite a lot longer and kills a bit quicker as well. Soul Split is definitely really useful, especially while you're killing these guys, because you don't really need to pray, but as I said before, I'll get through that later. So guys, here is an example of a gear and inventory setup. I do bring a Beast of Burden, which is a pack yak, and I bring nothing in it because you don't really need that much food. Even with this gear, which is level 80 or 85 Armadillo gear, you can survive here quite well. I definitely recommend at least level 80 range weapon, which is a royal crossbow. You can bring a mage or a melee switch. I've seen people meleeing here, but I just recommend sticking to range because you just save inventory space. You don't have to go through the hassle of changing styles and action bars and all that kind of stuff. Pretty standard setup. I've got full Armadillo, I've got the Tyrannian quiver, and in that quiver definitely you have to bring Dragonbane bolts. That's something I should have mentioned. You have to bring Dragonbane bolts for the first phase, and there's no point in switching after that because Dragonbane bolts are really good against these dragons anyway, so I definitely recommend that. Bring full Armadillo. Everything else is pretty standard. Vampirism aura just for a little bit of extra life points. Amulet of Souls is really good. The Asylum Surgeon's rings is one of the best DPS rings, and the Charming Imp for collecting charms. And as you can see, I've got Pernix boots, but that's only because I don't actually own Armadillo boots. You don't need any Pernix items. You can bring them if you want to, or if you want to go full crazy, you can bring Saranic, but I definitely don't see the need for that kind of stuff. You can survive here perfectly fine in Armadillo and this gear right here. And for the inventory setup, it is pretty standard. I've got Holy Overload, which is a prayer renewal and an overload, and a super anti-fire potion separate. If you do have a combination potion like the Supreme Salve, you definitely bring that because that's like a combination of a Supreme Overload and a anti-fire potion and loads of other stuff. I've got the Spring Cleaner right there, which is really useful because these guys drop quite a bit of rune bars and rune items, so they can send it straight to your bank. You don't need a lot of prayer pots depending on the length of your trip. I definitely recommend taking this setup and then seeing how it goes for you, and then adjusting your next trip accordingly. Bring, like, I've got 16 food right there, but you don't have to use all of it. You probably won't, but what I would recommend is taking any area of effect abilities off your ability bar, because if you get more than one on you, then you're going to be using quite a bit of food. So for your first trip, it might be wise to bring a backup. And as you can see, I've got pack yak scrolls to bank, the rune dragon bones, and certain single items that I don't want in my inventory. And when that runs out, when my pack yak special move bar runs out, the pack yak is empty, so I can just store stuff in there while banking the rest of the stuff, and it is pretty nice, works out pretty well. So let's get into how to get there. So basically, guys, once you've got all your gear and your inventory and your familiar setup, what you want to do, the best way to get there is actually to use the 6th-stage circuit. You want to use the teleport option and go to the world gate. Once you're here, just quick dial on the world gate and go to Kefsi. Enter, and you should get this message, recognize the rune plane of Kefsi. You want to click yes, And before you know it, you are here at the Rune Dragons. As you can see, there are quite a few people here, but it's not that difficult to find the spare Rune Dragons. You want to attack the one with 68k life points, obviously. The elite Rune Dragons can spawn and they can attack you aggressively. Those are the dangerous ones that can one-hit you, so you just want to make sure you watch out for your life points. If one of them attacks you and starts hitting 6ks, just make sure you eat up. And then once you settle down, you can attack one that you want to and start killing. So once you guys get there, on screen right now you can see when each phase starts. The first phase is as soon as you start the kill at 68,250 life points, which is the max life points for these guys. Phase 2 starts when you get them down to 45,045 life points, and the final phase starts at 22,522 life points. What I would recommend is definitely not using any long ability like rapid fire or any threshold just before it changes, because when it changes phase it will cancel your ability and stop you dealing damage while the animation goes on. So when you're just about to change phase, use a couple of basics to change phase and then go on with the thresholds. Now I'll get into the 3 different phases and how to deal with them. The first phase really is pretty standard. You just want to pot up and attack the Rune Dragon, and this is where you need Dragonbane ammo in order to damage it and break the shield. If you don't have Dragonbane ammo, then you won't be able to get past this phase and you won't be able to get the kill, obviously, which is why you definitely need Dragonbane ammunition. There's nothing special about it really. You just want to build up with some basics and get it down as you normally would, and then move on to the second phase. Now in the second phase it will fly up into the air, as you can see right there, and send out these blue magic attacks which deal damage you for 450 damage and freeze you. It doesn't really do a lot. You can move away to avoid it, but I don't see the problem. I don't see a need. You don't ever have a problem with life points and that kind of stuff. Phase 1 and 2 you just want to damage it down normally. There's nothing really to worry about except for making sure you are using Dragonbane. But for phase 3 is where it matters. What you want to do as soon as phase 3 starts, use all of your thresholds, and if you're feeling lucky then even use an ultimate, because as phase 3 goes long, if you take longer to kill it, it will actually take less damage and deal more damage to you. So it will get to a point where it's almost impossible to deal damage if you're killing them way too slow, and that's the reason I recommend at least tier 80 weapons and saving your threshold for phase 3, because if you are lower leveled, if your range level is quite low, you won't be able to do enough DPS, and then it will just increase in defense as well as offense, damaging you quite a bit, and you'll be doing less and less damage, making the kills quite a bit longer and quite a bit more tedious. So definitely, if you want to use thresholds, use them on the first phase and then save them for phase 3. Use all your big power thresholds like rapid fire and snapshot and that kind of stuff on the third phase. Get it down ASAP and then move on to the next kill. And that's really all you need to know about Rune Dragons. They are pretty standard. Phase 3, just throw off some thresholds. The rest of it, just do some basics, and if you're feeling like it, just go for some thresholds. And that's really it. You get some kills, make some nice money power. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. If I did speak a bit fast throughout it, I do apologize. I tend to do that. I'm going to try and change that. And if you have any other constructive criticism, put it down in the comments, please. Anything I might have missed out, I'll definitely add an annotation and give you some credit for that. As usual, be sure to throw this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if it helped you. Comment down below any other video suggestions that you might want to see, any kind of guides or series, anything you want me to do. And like the video, subscribe to my channel for more PVM content, and peace out.